First, we're going to start out with introductions as we go. Like per usual, I am FinalHarps. This is the final hour the final hour, and I am interviewing GreatestGamer00. And I met this guy at a fighting game tournament that I was hosting a while back, and we just hit it off. That was it. We just hit it off and kind of would bullshit back and forth, but now we're like doing this shit.
I mean, if I'm being real, everybody with that tournament was great, man. Like,
oh my god, yeah. Well, LK tournaments were really good tournaments. It's just, yeah, I hit my things.
But the grassroots, man, the grassroots was strong, dude.
Yes, they are. Okay, so
it's not the same without you.
I know it isn't, because I actually was badass and balanced shit.
I mean, hey, dude, but like I said, that's a whole nother pickle jar we ain't opening.
Yep. All right. Well, that's this one. All right, let's get what I want to interview. All right. Now, you can answer or choose not to answer any one of these questions if it gets too personal or whatever it may be. I don't like breaking into people's privacy and whatever, so I respect that. Now, it can get really juicy with some of the questions, but you still get to choose. Now, first things first, tell us about yourself.
All right, I'll do how I do in my introduction for Twitch every single time. For a quick summary, like, hence the name, it is kind of a reason why I call myself that. So a little origin, too. My friend comes to my house, and he seen me play zombies for Call of Duty, and I was, like, at round 40 by myself. And I already played almost a fuck ton of games. And he's like, dude, is there anything you're not good at? Like, is there something you suck? And I was like, hold on, give me a minute. And to this day, there's only one thing I can say. I can't use Abigail in Street Fighter V. So there's one. But that's the reason the name is because there's nothing I don't play. I like every genre, RPG, shooters, survival horror. And I tell people, like, oh, name a game I've probably played it or know about it at the very least. That's the intro. And then, like, I mainly, I'm really big with fighting games. I go to tournaments. I've commentated a handful of times, especially for BB Tag and Third Strike. And, yeah, I post up videos whenever I can. Not the most consistent. But, yeah, that's the mini intro. That's obviously what you come for the Twitch for. Is, like, name a game I've probably played. Like, especially the dead ones. That's where I get the most views, surprisingly. Like, JoJo and Third Strike, I got a lot of views. But that's a mini intro as to who I am and what I do,
Okay, so you got dubbed the name Greatest Gamer because you were just like good at every single game, and you just decided to keep it because it caught your attention. You really liked it. You enjoyed it. So, you just keep it, and probably obviously someone else had Greatest Gamer.
Actually, I'll go further into it too. I was thinking, like, that sounds too egotistical, and I thought, I'm like, okay, I know I'm good, but I'm not a douche about it. It's like, let me just add something clever at the end, like, and I thought zeros, and I was like, zero sounds cool. And then there's two of them, but if you have two of them, it's like an infinite sign. And I was like, oh, big brain. Let's see if anyone figure this out. I mean, you guys, I ruined it, so you guys can't figure it out no more. But I was like, I like that. I like the zeros.
I ruined it because you can't figure it out yourself no more. Oh, my God. Such a disappointment. Okay, so you added 00, so it wasn't too egotistical. Not too. It's still egotistical, but not too egotistical. Okay. All right, so I think we discussed this on a podcast, but I know these viewers probably never heard why. What got you into gaming? Like, who gave you that first controller? And we did discuss this, actually.
Right. I mean, it was early on when my dad first brought, like, a Nintendo, was it the Famicom? I don't know, it's the one that's got Mario in it, like every kid.
Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Regular Nintendo?
Yeah.
N64?
So, okay, yeah. It was that one? No. It was that one. The Mario one without the N64. With the regular controller, the two buttons and the D-pad. I'm sorry that I'm not the biggest Nintendo fanboy, but I just don't know. But then, like, that was my first controller, you would say. And then my first game I really played quite a bit was actually Turok. And I love that game. Yeah, Turok 2, actually. And then from there, like, I played, casually. I played a lot. But what got me hardcore into gaming would have to be Resident Evil 4 and Guitar Hero. That's just to break it down. Okay, so you just pretty much someone gave you a Super Nintendo and gave you Mario. Mm-hmm. And you went, boing, boing, it's me, a Mario. I mean, funny thing is, too, actually, when I played, like, I mean, as a teenager, I learned to calm it down, but when I first played that stuff, my dad say, like, oh, for him, most kids, you sit down or something. Like, for me, nah, bro, I always moved and jumped around and shit. You know, like I was a hype ass little dude. Like I'll play fucking Mario hype shit for no reason. Like I'll be doing 20 jacks. Then obviously I come down.
You got to.
Guitar Hero
do that. You still do that. You press that like quit button.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. And I'm good at it.
All right. So we know what got you into gaming. Now, why do you still play games?
I would say like that's actually a deep question if I'm being honest. Because for the longest time, like it is. Because why do I like? It's more than because at this point it's not even a hobby. Like, I got seriously into it thanks, like I said, to Resident Evil. Because Resident Evil to me was like an epiphany in my head. Like, damn, games can be like legit. Like up until that point, I played it simply for fun and like a hobby. But then Resident Evil 4 and Guitar Hero sparked my mind. Like, this is like it's like it can drive your skill. Like me as a person, like I'm like a jack of all trades. There's nothing I can't do. Like this isn't just limited to gaming. And my dad even knew it myself. He'd say, like, that's why I was never into soccer too much. Like, I'll play it and move on to the next sport, play that, move on to the next sport, move on. And then I never found anything that intrigued me, nothing that felt challenging to me. And video games for me is exactly that. That's why even now I specifically play fighting games, because I feel fighting games are the peak of that genre, or the peak genre for challenging yourself. And that's why I still do it. That, and I want to, you know, be able to do something. Like, it's just fulfilling. It gives me, like, a purpose in life. That's to me, I found like this is what I like to do. Even if this wouldn't be my career, this would be my main hobby. You know, I would work for my hobby. Like now I work for my hobby. Like that is, so basically, long story short, I still game because it is my drive. It is my will to keep doing what I do. Like it is my will
to live at the moment.
Pretty much. Yeah. Like it's my competitive drive too. Like I'm just a naturally competitive person. And for me, gaming is that outlet. I mean, even then, just casually, just like to chill. Like it's, like, to me, gaming is one of the best entertainment mediums. Like, that's just me. Like, it's opinionated, and not to say that any other one isn't good. Like, I used to be a huge movie buff before I was into games. Like, I watched movies in black and white and shit. But yeah, so that's the answer to that question.
Okay, fair enough. All right, why do you say fighting games are the pinnacle of difficulty?
I feel like they definitely are, besides maybe rhythm games, due to the inherent, like, difficulty curve. Like, because there are other games that, like, they're not the only ones. Like, I've mentioned it before on our other podcast, how Resident Evil, Residents of Fate, Armored Core are some of the hardest games.
On your wall.
Yeah, but they're some of the hardest things. But why fighting?
It's right there.
What do you mean?
There's a little bug in the corner, crawling out.
That's an ant.
I'm just saying, you have a friend.
Well, I'll kill him later.
I'm coming for you, bitch.
I will. Dude, I don't like bugs. That's another thing about me. I hate bugs.
It's just like, what?
But, wait, what was the question again? Now I forgot. I'm serious. What was it?
The pinnacle of
fighting games. Right. I mean, and here's the thing. Take it, like, I say my opinion has more strength and value because most of the people who disagree or agree have very limited, like, either they mainly play fighting games or they don't play that much, so you can't really gouge something when your experience is so limited. And again, take it from someone like, fighting game was my last genre to get into. I played RPGs and all kinds of other genres before I played fighting games. And fighting games were like was a genre where I was like, whoa, like I said, it has an inherent difficulty curve to play. Like, just to have fun and play, no, it doesn't matter. Like, in my opinion, every game can be like that. Like, you could play Resident Evil and never get past the first room, but if you're having a blast just moving around, congratulations, you're having fun. Like, you're playing the game. You know, that's the thing that people really get misconstrued. Just because you can play and enjoy the game doesn't mean you're good at the game. Like, to get decent at the game, like, not even like, oh, this guy's like good. Like, just, oh, he's playing the game at a competent level, varies for every single game. And fighting games are the only one that I can think of next to Resident Evil and Armored Core and Resident Fate where you can be there stuck for hours on end going like, how the fuck do I do this? And it gets just worse. Like, just doing a Hadouken takes an entire year to actually master.
So we talked about that quite recently too, like Hadouken and then Shoryuken. Now,
but
with all these games that you play, you say you're great at all of them, but which one is truly your pinnacle, like, height of, like, skill that you could sit there and say, now this game, you're gonna have a hard time keeping up with me?
Oh, see, that's the funny thing, because I will be honest, like, it's like why I say jack of all trades. If you guys know that, oh my god,
what was that? That was something.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so like I said,
aliens are coming.
you guys who don't like, the saying they say jack of all trades, master of none. That's pretty true. Like I'm good at all of them, but I'm not great at all of them. Some I'm better, some I'm worse. But to answer your question, it has to be like a tie between like not too much rhythm games. Fighting games a bit like I'm actually pretty talented for sure, and it varies from fighting game to fighting game. But for sure, I have to say like Resident Evil, like survival horror with guns.
Did he just break those?
I think so.
Oh my god! You got an ant, and now your brother broke that? That sucks.
I mean, man, some of these headphones be cheap, dude.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, no, for sure, definitely, probably Resident Evil. Like, no, I'm like, I feel like if I was as good as I was most fighting games as I was at Resident Evil, oh, bro, I'd be at Evo top 8 every single time, dude. Like,
yeah,
like because that's the game that started me getting competitively good, and I still keep playing. Like, I get bored, I randomly hop on. Like, I'm Chad as hell at Resident Evil. More so 4, 5, and 6. I love the OG ones though. Don't get me wrong.
All right. So we understand that you like that kind of stuff. We understand you like fighting games. We understand where you got it from. Kind of know who you are a little bit more. What is something that? Are you there?
No, sorry. I was just making sure.
You good? You good?
You said you did one?
As he says, hold on.
Yeah, apologies. Oh, here it is. It's good. Good stuff. Take 2. Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
You good? You good? All right. So we've learned all this about you so far, and now, what is something from your childhood that you like held dear, or just a memory you're really fond of, or something you like doing that you just truly miss?
Shit, there's a lot. Like that, I'm such an indecisive person. I'm letting you guys know, so apologies. I have weird answers because I would say a lot of things, but the first thing that came to mind right now is I used to go to my aunt's house. We would go for like Christmas or certain events. And like I loved it because I was with all my cousins, my uncles, and aunts. So I think that would have to be one of the moments I miss. And we play, and then I'd go on. And we have this nice ass basement, like a fireplace, and have this baddest flat screen TV, and they still do. And I would play like Mega Man X, 6, or we'll play like Naruto, 4 players, or later on Call of Duty. Like that was the Shazam, dude. Just having a blast, dude. Like I probably missed out the most from my childhood.
Fair enough. I think we all miss those like get-togethers now. Now everyone's on their phones and communicating instead of like getting together. But yeah, like we got to experience that before the transfer over of technology. Like, that's the crazy thing. Now, yeah, I have to agree. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. When it comes to content creation, what got you into it?
I was ready for that question too. I guess what got me ready is, I was into it, right? And I would just look. For the first how I started was looking at Let's Plays for Resident Evil. I watched almost all of them up to like Resident Evil 5 and 4 because I only played 4 and I was hyped for 5, but I was like, I want to know the backstory. And then and then from there, I started seeing about Machinima. I heard about them, but I watched a couple things here and there. But my 2 biggest influences, my biggest, my points where I started was Machinima's For the Win by you guys. If you guys remember, they do wrestling content now, but they're Steven Larson. They did top 10 videos. It was them and Maximilian. Those were my biggest inspirations to start doing content
so
creation.
Cool.
And of course, big shout outs to all the channels I follow. Like they further I was like, dude, there's so much. Like they started it they never piqued my interest in content creation, but they are the ones that introduced me to it. And then all these other channels just slowly each one was a different puzzle that made me go, oh, I can be educational, I can be funny, different pieces of the puzzle. So shout out to all those channels. Sadly, I can't mention all of them because they have 200 of them. But shout out to all of them. They make extremely great content.
Okay. So do you see yourself continuing to make content in the future? Like you just keep doing it as a hobby while still gaming, or are you gonna try to make it your profession?
I mean, I'll try for sure. I mean, for right now, my plan is Twitch is my primary because YouTube is just terrible. Like for me, I feel like I can't, to me to truly express to who I am, I have to go against the guidelines YouTube set. It's because it's being dishonest to myself and the people who go to watch my content. And that's one reason I just refuse to do it. And that means no money. So as far as YouTube, I don't look towards getting any money at all. But I do want to use that platform to help me elevate myself on Twitch.
Okay.
And even if I don't, I would still continue to do it. My biggest reason why, too, I recommend anyone, when you want to do it, you should do it because you're passionate about it. And I did. That's how I started. And then later on, I was like, oh, wait, you can make money off this? I was like, then I just started putting more effort towards that goal. But I am still, my main goal is like, I like to put up stuff that I do. And even now I go back and watch my videos. I'm like, yo, this stuff's like, I enjoy it. Like, I genuinely enjoy it. And as far as that's good, then I accomplished my goal. Like, you should be content with what you do. Like, even if nobody watches it, like, because I will continue to do it because this is something I'll look back on, you know, when I'm old. Like, from people take pictures, they'll take souvenirs. For me, it's my videos because this is what I do. You know, these are my memories. They're on YouTube. Like, these are the moments I had. And that's how I look at my channel half the time. And I will continue to do it. Even if I make no money and I never make anything, I'll still put content just so I can show my friends, like, you know, oh, dude, look at this funny moment I had in Siege or something. Well, not Siege anymore, but so I will continue to do it, but main purpose to, you know, just as entertainment for myself and everybody that I hang around, you know. Because, you know, you guys ever had that moment when you were young, like, oh, I swear this happened. But,
and
you know,
no one believes you?
Right.
Yeah.
Or they do, but they wish they could have seen it. Right?
Yeah. I always got the no one believed me one, but yeah. Okay. So now, if you could become successful and make this a career, you would then, right? Now, if you were able to actually pursue that, what would you do about growing your channels, your YouTube, your Twitch? How would you get that name out there? How would you meet more people? How would you like pursue the growth that you would need to be able to rely on content creation as a career?
I mean, I'm already in that step, as you would sort of like whenever I go out, like Japan was a great example. I would just put myself out there more. And then Linus Tech Tips, for you guys know, I like it because it's the same mentality I do. And hearing it from another YouTuber, why he thinks he's so successful, like he looks at everything he does and goes, how can I use this opportunity to make a video? And that's what I do. Like, even when I talk to people and then I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll hit you up later. Like I always look for something, see if an opportunity, and then I talk to people and see if I can film that or do something about it. You know, because I even realized, like, dude, some of the things I just do in my life are just straight up entertaining. Like me just walking to Best Buy, it's like the greatest thing on earth. You know, so taking advantage of what I do every day is one thing I would do. Because I mean, some people when they get to that level, just look at Daigo, the best Street Fighter player in the world. Like that dude gets thousands of views just from walking down the street for no reason. But as far as I would keep doing what I do because I already try to reach out people and just being cool. Like I would just basically do what I do. Like, you know, do me, because that's why I'm at where I'm at right now. People enjoy who I am. And I like talking to other people, but I treat them not as like they're kind of some celebrity or something. I just talk to them with the full intention of just being good friends and people with them, including my viewers. And that's the reason why they stay. And that's the reason why people will go up to me and be like, yeah, I'm down to be on your channel. Oh, yeah, because they see me as a friend, not someone trying to take an opportunity off of them. Yeah. And at the same time, it's like, if they don't want to, that's fine. I completely respect that. Like, there's no problem with that. Like, for me, it's just a bonus. And I use it more to elevate them, not so much me. Yeah. So that's just how I would look at it. When you help others, it comes back around.
Yes,
and even if it doesn't, it's like I just enjoy doing it. You know, that's the best way to say it. That's why I said I'm not as concerned about it because my main goal is doing what I like to do. So that's why, like, if I have that less in my mind, it bothers me less when I don't grow. Because if you notice people who are solely focused on that, it starts to bother them because they don't see growth, because they don't get these people on theirs. And the reality is,
ironically, I was going through that when I first started too. Now, I just like meeting people and. I learn who is interested in what I'm interested in, and then I also know who's not interested, and I've been able to learn that really quickly. And that takes time. And you can type your question out, Hunter, when you're ready. We'll get to it. Now, I know you've been on a podcast before, so I'm not even going to bother with that. But besides us in our podcast that we do on Sundays, what else have you been... what else have you, like, hosted? What else, other podcasts have you done? And... Or I know you used to you commentate fighting games, but like what are other like live scenarios have you been in other than the final hour?
Man, you know, because I've actually done quite a lot, believe it or not. Like not even like counting middle school, high school. I'm trying to think, but like as far as Twitch stuff, as far as podcast, I feel like I've been in one before, but I can't recall. I don't think so. I think this is the only podcast, but commentating, like, no, the biggest thing for sure as far as live is definitely commentating. That is the biggest number one thing I do, and I've gotten very comfortable with it. I think my favorite showings have to be when I was at ASIN, the anime convention, and I did Tekken and BB Tag, and when I did Street Fighter Third Strike for the Jazzy Circuit. Those were my best, and I think hypest events I was a part of. But I'm not a nervous person to be in front of the camera. Actually, funny thing, I wish, I can show it. I got interviewed by the Have you guys ever heard of like, have you been? Why did you come to Japan? They interviewed me. Yeah, it's not showing any good, but they gave me a sticker. So have you guys heard of them? They're a guy at the airport, and they go up to random foreigners and ask like, oh, like why did you visit Japan? I told them I was there for Evo Japan, and I was there for a good hour, and hopefully I give them a content, very good content, just playing up the camera and everything. Sorry, the camera's crooked, but yeah. It's I don't think about it. Like, that's the thing. I know I've been on like live stuff before and TV, but I'm the kind of person who doesn't get nervous about stuff like that. Like, I thrive off the camera kind of person.
Right. Yeah. I'm kind of the same way on that. Now, Hunter has a question. Yeah. Was it pure coincidence that we met on BB Tag that exploded our videos, or proof of your example?
I think I'd say both, because it was just a coincidence, but at the same time, maybe it was. I feel like it was an inevitability of us playing together, but that I feel the coincidence was in that the specific people that me and him met. That was definitely coincidence, because I love BB Tag. For those of you who don't know, it's one of my favorite fighting games of all time, and I'm on it every day. I can recognize half the people on the lobby, and I was in all the Discords, and he was in the same Discord, so that I feel was just going to happen regardless. But for us to be at that moment, and for all the memes to happen at that exact moment, which, by the way, big shout out to Bing for putting my video number one, so when you look up BB Tag memes, my video is the first thing to pop up. I'm like, yes. Free clout.
Nice,
but yeah,
nice.
That's the answer to that.
Nice. Okay. All right. That's a pretty good, interesting scenario how you two met. And I met him through you, and he's popped in my stream a couple times. Thank you for coming by, and especially coming by to ask this crazy mofo some questions. Now, okay, you're good at all these games. Mm-hmm. Now you're off-centered. What the fuck? Now I gotta move? What the fuck?
Hold up. This thing is being wagged. Well, but yes, answer your question while I fix the camera. I'm sorry.
All right. Let me get to the question. You're good at all these games, pretty much everything. Now, the real question is there any particular game that if someone asked you, can you teach me and coach me, would you teach them?
In general, I do kind of do is fighting games for sure, because just how big, like, they're just such a huge thing, and people always want to like ask, like, oh, how do I get good? Like they it's funny because, like I said, you can pick up and play it. I noticed that the people who ask this are people who know enough about fighting games that know that they know nothing, and they're not content where they're at. It's not the people who don't know how to play at all. It's the people who have a gist of how gaming works in general, and then they look at fighting games, and then they look at themselves, and I'm like, oh, I'm trash. And I like helping them the most, because I still, even though for how high level I am, I still am very grounded to the root, and I remember how I was when I was a noob, which is why fighting games are my favorite thing to always give out advice on. And for any game in general, I'm more than glad to help people out, because I genuinely have a passion. Like, I remember a good quote that a scientist said was, if you are extremely well talented and versed in your subject, you should be able to teach anybody else. You might not be the best, but you should be able to explain it and translate it into a different way where the average person can understand it. Yes. Well, yeah, my number one would be like fighting games, and then like Resident Evil, because that is my best number one, and then third would be like just obscure and hard games, and then everything else is like, yeah, I don't mind,
All right. So you would consider, if someone came up to you, can you show me how to do this? You would try to help them and show them how to do it. Yeah. Okay, that's very cool. Now, this next question, I love this one because I act like a troll in your chat at times.
Yes, you
Besides me.
You're not the only one.
Besides me being a troll in your chat, how do you handle the real trolls, the ones that are real bad, where you're just like, oh god, why are you here? How do you handle those?
Okay, so I mean, it varies. Like, I feel I handle it pretty well. Like, half the time I just ban people. Like, I feel like I gain nothing from it, and they're just being obnoxious. Like, just ban it.
Hold on. Your camera is perfect now. Just leave it alone.
I'm leaving it. But anyways, but yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, there are. Especially, it's always in Call of Duty. It's Call of Duty fighting games and sometimes other games. But those are the two ones where I get the most. People just saying that, and I'll sit there and actually, like, I'll humor them. Half the time I humor them. That's exactly what I do. And then one time, I got extremely upset with one just because he was just such an idiot. But I was like, no. Like I said, it's that Linus mentality. Let me use this advantage to make a video out of it. I still haven't yet, but I basically just started treating this dude's life, and I was like, no, like I wasn't even directing it towards him, because I'm like, it's not a you thing. It's an overall arcing thing. Like, trolls are everywhere. Like, you are one troll, but you represent a majority problem. So I just basically put this dude on blast. You know, it's like, look, dude, if your internet wasn't garbage, I wouldn't be like leaving. I would rematch you if you weren't trash. But no, I'm gonna leave the match every time. I'm not gonna face you. You're gonna make me lose points. You want to get mad because I don't want to rematch you. That's your fault, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I ban them. I always like see, and that's just the best thing I love to do, hands down. I'll like I said, I'll humor them, and then I'll just pull the rug right underneath them and leave. Because the reality is let me tell you guys, if you're doing that, you should be doing it for a reason. For me, it's for content. I don't ever do it. I'm not like, it's genuinely a waste of your time. Discussing with someone who refuses to listen to you, it's the biggest waste of time. Like Filthy Frank said, arguing on the internet is dumb. And I completely agree. I said, I humor them. And I'm telling them, I'm not, no, this isn't a conversation. This is me treating you.
No,
and then
before
you
that
say
just hits
anything,
home, like pretty, or hits pretty good, like from
and here's the thing, they're on your
I was
stream.
talking to recently.
Right. They're on your stream. They're messaging you. You have all the power. There's nothing stopping you from pressing mute, ban, or don't ever message me again. That's the best part. You basically go, no, I'm the gorilla, and then you don't get you my bitch. See, and that's I feel so good because they're salty. I like to no. You came into my den, you gonna get bodied, bro. You know, that's just how it is. Simple as that. You know, so I chat it up. That's the response to that, dude. I chat on them.
Okay, so basically you'll just sit there and basically try to kind of what I do when someone comes in and says the actual form, the other form of happy, and I sit there, I go, oh, I'm happy. But I am. You are, yeah, I am. But you're then the F one. I'm like, I don't smoke cigarettes. I'm sorry. I don't even know why you're saying this, but I don't smoke. It pisses people off so much. They don't know how to react. I got one. I was in a Call of Duty match, and this squad wiped us. Right? He pops in my stream. They all followed me and start talking shit. I'm like, yeah, I suck at this game. I don't care. I'm just having fun. And then they all stop and go, oh, you're cool. Like, you don't care. I'm like, no, I don't. But yeah, that's exactly how you gotta deal with trolls. But it's funny hearing different stories from everyone. Actually, it's very funny. All right, okay, I got one. What is something that that has happened to you or you have done? This is non-game related. Or have gone through that is extremely difficult, and you're still either trying to recover or you had recovered, but it took a long time to get over.
Well, I'd say it's pretty easy. Like I said, nothing too. I mean, I feel this is relatable to a lot of people because I noticed it in high school. Everybody was in a very similar situation. But I'd say because my parents got divorced, it's probably something that was hard. But I got over it pretty fast. Like by the time I was out of high school, I extremely got over it. But then I also had anger issues because of that. You know, that's extremely common for kids my age. But yeah, I got over it very well. I would say that helped me a lot is that my mom was responsible, my dad, and both my parents, even though they were diverse, they cared for me a lot. So that helped me. Like I didn't feel like I was malnourished and love. Like I had a lot of love from both my parents, which is I think is one of the most important ingredients to have is care and love from your parents. It makes everything much easier regardless of what you're going through. That and when I became a Buddhist, I looked at life a lot differently and things bothered me less. And then more importantly, I've seen other people through struggles. I'm like, I ain't going through shit. I'm not the kind of person who's like that. But second, another reason why I felt like I get over it easier is I'm the kind of person who's not the most emotional human being in the world. I feel for people. I'm sympathetic, but for me, I'm if you haven't been through World War II or Vietnam, you haven't been through shit. I'm a very warrior mentality. That's why I game. For me, I get more bothered through more. I would say more chaotic stuff bothers me. That's why war films hit me hard.
Okay.
That stuff hits me hard. But regardless, I mean, it's not something you can just gloss over. It affected me, but once I realized it did, I was like, oh, I thought divorce was just oh, people are being a little sissy. And no, it hits you because you're a kid. When you're a kid, you are a sissy. You don't know better. But luckily for me, my testosterone is so strong that it said no. And then my parents, like I said, love. It was my overall chadness and my parents' love that helped me get over it. That is the truth of the matter. Well, funny thing, now I think about it, it's because of my chadness I had an anger problem. But hey.
Okay. But that's very interesting. Well, okay.
See, here's the other thing too. Nothing's too deep for me because that's part of my other reason. For a Buddhism, nothing is truly sacred in a sense.
Okay. Same question, but tie it with the hardest thing that you had to accomplish in a video game?
Oh no, yo, see, look, I'm already getting PTSD. That shit's hitting me harder right now, dude. Like, okay, here are the list of things. I'll even say it right here.
Here's a list of things. Here, let's go. Let's go.
No, you'll see why I'm saying. One of the hardest things I ever did in life, you know, I said it was, back in the day, was wrestling. Wrestling was tough as hell. Like I said, this is non-game related, but everything else is game related, right?
Yes.
Wrestling is tough as hell, dude. It felt like mini boot camp, and I feel accomplished, bro, and I was so ripped and everything. But regardless, so think about that. Wrestling. If you guys, any wrestlers in here, you know, I mean, I don't know how yours was, but ours was tough. Our shit was tough, dude. Even one of our guys said, like, this is practically like JV college wrestling. I'm like, shit, no wonder I felt overworked. But anyways, and then after that, it was, if you guys don't know, standing 720 in Street Fighter 4 with Hugo, God Fist and Tekken 3 times in a row, down forward 2 God Fist 3 times in a row. If you guys don't know, down forward 2 into God Fist is a perfect, it's like a 1-frame link from Street Fighter 4 harps, for you don't know. But you also have to do a perfect 1-frame God Fist after the down forward 2. And most people know it's insanely hard. Then after that, it's a taunt jet upper, which is literally 3 buttons at the same time. 1 frame cancel into a jet upper, which is forward back, and it has to be also perfect, frame perfect. You can't hold forward for more than 2 frames, nor neutral for more than 2 frames, nor back. And that wasn't hard. Like, it took me an entire hour of straight practice. I have it on YouTube, by the way, of me doing it. And I was like, oh, you know, so those are the order. Wrestling, God Fist, down forward 2 God Fist, and then taunt jet upper. And then the hardest thing I've ever done, seriously, I'm telling you right now, there's a game called Vanquish. This game, like, you see a platinum and you're like, oh, it doesn't look that hard. You see this one trophy, oh, beat all the trials. You beat it on hard mode. You don't have to do God hard. You're like, oh, good. Then you beat trial 1 through 5. They're like, oh, this game's tough. Like, the game's already hard. It's a platinum game. You know, this is like Devil May Cry hard. So think about that. On normal, this game's already
that hard, but okay.
See, it's like, oh, you know, and then hard is like, oh, you know, like every game, like, oh man, this was hard. This is hard. Then you play the trials. Oh. And then you, after you do everything, you get all the secrets, whatever, you unlock a 6th trial. This trial, I don't know how. So imagine you're already, you're like in hell, bro. And then you're like, oh yeah, no, there's like a worse version of hell. And you're just like, Nani, what? Dude, I'm not exaggerating how hard, this is the hardest thing I ever done in my life. I realized it halfway through doing this bullshit. There's a video that said it perfect. This UK guy said it's like being at a knife's edge 24/7, every millisecond. And that is the most accurate description of that shit I ever heard, dude. Like, right off the round, so it's like round start. And there's like 100 robots. There's lasers everywhere. You cannot stand still for more than like half of a frame. It's so dumb. And you have, like, I'm serious. Remember, I played all kinds of genres games. This is better than everything. I mean, like, no. And apparently, what's even crazier, when I first got this trophy, there was only 3 people in the world that got that trophy for the PS4 version. A Japanese dude, that UK guy, and me. We were the only people in the world at that moment. I don't know what it is now. And I love his description. Like, no, it's being at a knife's edge. It's so insanely hard. Like, I do not recommend anybody try to get that trophy. It is torture. It took me 2 days, 8 to 12 hours. Sorry. Yeah.
You're good.
8 to 12 hours. And then, by the way, back to back, I got so mad. I came back from work, back at it. I had to take my shirt off. And then when I beat it, I was like, you know, like, it's and you have, by that point, you've had to master the game, dude. It's
that hard? Yeah.
No, it is. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, holy Christ.
All right. Moving to the next question. Now, the thing is, would you consider that the most proudest moment of your life?
Hell yeah! I'm being serious.
Damn. So that game was so hard to the point where you would even consider that like, this is my proudest moment of my life.
Hell yeah!
Why is that?
No, that is it.
How? Just being that one trial and getting that trophy was the proudest moment of your life.
No, it is. You think I'm exaggerating, bro? Like, you. Okay, I feel like I can't even put myself on a pedestal just because I'm putting that hardness at a pedestal. Like, bruh. Like, okay. My brain and my fingers were drained, but my will to beat that trial. And you know what's even crazier? I couldn't beat that trial back when I was smaller. And now I was playing it against, I was like, yo, I was a teenager still doing this trial. I think I was never going to be able to beat it as a teenager, I'll be honest. I don't think my mind was ready enough. But the fact that my skills were almost there at a teenage age, I'm like, damn, no, holy crap, I'm kind of impressed by my teenage self now. But my older self, nah, bro, I was like, I know the frames, man, I got this, and I'm playing at a 60 solid.
It's like high school condensed into one class. Oh my god, right?
No, but I mean, like I'm still in the process of making videos of it, but like I feel I can show this to anybody and be like, I can show like, oh, they'll think, oh, this is hard, this is hard. Like even my dad gets impressed when I play rhythm games, and then he's like, oh, you have good reactions, like he sees alone just from the reactions, like, yo, that's insane, like. But I show anyone Vanquish, I swear to. I don't care who you are, the prime minister, some old man in a cave. If you can't look at this game and go, what in sweet Obama's beautiful hell is that?
Osama!
Like I'm serious. Like if you just look at the game, people who have seizures do not look at the game. You will have a seizure. Like Marvel vs. Capcom doesn't look as crack as this game. Like I'm not even exaggerating.
No,
dude.
I think I saw you playing it. You're dodging around a lot, killing robots, right? Okay, yeah. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? This is I could play it, but it just didn't intrigue me.
I mean, that's fine. And see, what you were saying, dude, that was mild compared to the style, dude.
I know. Okay. All right. Let's flip this to the opposite.
Fuck me.
The opposite. We're all like, hey, yeah, let's go. No,
seriously, you guys think I'm bullshit.
What is your deepest regret?
Shit. I live by a philosophy, I regret nothing, which is a good philosophy.
Okay, what is something that you did that you learned the most from? Since I had to change the fucking question, motherfucker.
No, I mean, I can still answer. Like, regret. It's just, there are things you regret, but don't regret regretting it, if that makes sense. Like, just don't let it hinge over you. And I'm trying to think of one right now. Give me a minute. It's hard. Because, like I said, because of that philosophy, I don't let it bother me and I move on. I learn from it. That's my thing. Like, I learn from that regret. See, I'm thinking really hard. I'm not even trying to be, like, a prick or, like, self-righteous or anything. I'm genuinely trying to think. Are there like minor regrets? Like, oh, I forgot to get the stove or something, but I'm trying to think what's the I'm sorry, I got nothing, dude.
I'll find something else that we can talk about. Alright, so you have no regrets in life. So everything you have done that you have gone through in life has been to that point where all your mistakes, you're just like, okay, it happened, learn from it, right?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, very good philosophy. Very good. All right. When you get old and senior citizen, how are you going to act? Are you going to be that old man like, Sonny, come here, I'm going to crack you with my cane? Or are you going to be like that?
Did you just cut off?
Yes, because I was quiet.
Oh, or am I gonna be? Oh, okay. I'll just answer the question. I mean, I'll be like two halves. I'll be like the really chill old man. I'll still be hip and cool with the kids, but I'll be pretending like just to troll with people, like I'm the generic old man.
Okay.
Like back in my day, because I mean, part of it will be true, because I'm like, you here in your hover PlayStation 5000s, man. Back in my day, we had to have controls. Like right. But I'm like, it's just as a meme, like as a meme to other old people. Like that's how I'd be, because I kind of do that now with people that are younger than me. Still do when I'm older.
Okay.
That's how I'd be as an old man.
So you'll just be like, let's play games.
Yeah, like I'll show you pretending I'm an old man.
I'm gonna kick your ass, boy.
Yeah.
You better watch out. This elder's gonna kick your ass.
Hell yeah, bro. I'll be.
And then all like his friends are like, yeah, he is. And he's like, no, he's not. No, he is. Right? Yeah. That's what you'll be. Okay, got it. We figured out what you would be. Okay. Now, I know the answer to this one, but not everyone else does. Okay, do you have any pets?
Well, they're not my pets, but they're my mom and my sisters. It's two little doggos. It's a little one that has curly hair. I don't know what the hell they're called, but it's like this small. Small. And then a husky that has mixed color eyes. It's pretty dank. It's like the one's brown and the other one's blue. But yeah, so those are the two dogs. I personally want a cat, though. I'm a cat person. So hopefully one day when I move out, I can get a cat, because my mom doesn't like cats.
Okay, fair enough. Is it because she's allergic or just...
No, she just doesn't like cats.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, some people, like, I don't prefer dogs, but I don't mind dogs, but I have a dog and two cats, so I understand that. It's a very interesting thing. So we learned a pretty good amount of who you are and what you do. Now, what is something you would want to What is something you have always wanted to do but have yet been able to do?
Man, why are you asking questions that are tough to answer?
Because I'm good at this?
I'm
I think?
Here's the thing, there are always things I want to do, but like I'm pretty fulfilled. Like I don't make extremely high goals unless actually, you know what? Or you said somewhere I want to go or something I want to do.
Yeah, just something you've always wanted to do but have not been able to obtain it yet.
Right. I would say yeah, see, because I went to Japan. That was one of them. So that's one.
We're gonna get back to that actually, but
yeah,
after this
I know.
one, yeah.
And then I think I had one of the highest accomplishments in gaming, Vanquished. I'm proud of that. You know, I've watched some great anime. I'm proud of that. I visited my home country. Proud of that too. But the one thing for sure I still thrive for, I think, is a striving source, is to win an Evo or a giant tournament. That's something that I still want to do, and it is why I still have a huge drive to at least get good at one. I mean, I'm good at all of them, but I mean like. Good. Like I'll be in the pantheon as known as like this guy was godlike at this fighting game. Like that's something I still definitely thrive to this day. Like or even if it's not Street Fighter, like Resident Evil. Like I want to be known as the best at something, not just someone who's godlike at it. You know, not just someone who's good, like the best. You know, that's something I still want to do to this day, or at least win the world record. So that's the answer to your question.
Okay, so all right. What's crazy is that I remember you're like, I'm going to Evo Japan. I'm gonna have a great time, and you told me you did pretty good there. Now, when you were there, did you actually enjoy like what did you like when you went to Evo Japan? What was your actual outlooks of when you did the tournament? Like, what was your goal in the tournament?
See, my goal, because when I went to Evo Japan, like, I was already, like, I've been stressed before, but this is my first big major. This is my first time going outside the country. So I already knew, like, I don't think I'll be in peak condition, and I don't think I've gotten enough practice for the fighting games I was competing. But my goal was to prove to myself that, like, to me, Evo Japan was the make or break point. Like, my goal, basically, in short, was, can I hang with the big boys? Can I prove that I'm more than just talk, you know? Like, not just because I'm in locals, because, you know, you get comfortable. That's just a reality. Can I be outside of my comfort zone, play some of the best players, and do well? And Evo Japan definitely proved that. Because it's funny, where I felt the most proud, because I didn't place that well in Evo Japan, long story short. But the fights I did have, they weren't garbage. Like, they were good as hell, and I was proud of it. Like, it was neck and neck, and apparently the guy I faced, he was an Evo veteran. Like, I was like, if I lose in pools, but it's someone, like, who can basically was in top 16, then that makes you look good. You know, that makes you look good regardless. But more than anything, I beat a Master Rashid, like, rank. He was, like, Master rank, I think. Or he was a really high rank, regardless. And he was using V-Trigger. No, he was using V-Skill, too. And the dude even personally went, oh, I'm sorry, because everybody hated that for you guys. You go, no. There was a new update, and everybody got new V-Skills. So this was the first day in Japan, everybody meeting at Red Bull Gaming. And this guy went to, like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, it's cool. I like Rashid, and I got to learn the matchup. And I use Zangief, who is like low mid-tier at best, and he's using the best character in the game, arguably, a new V-Skill, nobody's learned it yet, and I destroyed this guy. Like, that to this day is one of my best accomplishments in a fighting game. I destroyed someone who is way higher ranked than I am, and he's using the best character. I'm using a pretty weak character, and I destroyed this man. We went like 6 sets in a row. He didn't win a single one. and after that, when I went to Evo Japan, I was like, my goal was already accomplished. I'm just here to see how far I can get. And sadly, I wasn't that far, but I still felt proud. Like, I was like, nah. You know, I know I'm not trash. I'm going to continue to pursue what I do. You know, not just anybody can say, oh, I went to Japan, destroyed a Japanese master rank Rashid player.
Okay. You know what's crazy is that if you were there, a month later, you would have been stuck there? Probably, yeah. Yeah, because the corona was, like, starting to outbreak in China. The outbreak. Well, I mean, long story short, the outbreak was out, whatever. But let's get over that. But yeah, the day the information came out and it was on the news, it was right as I landed in Japan. The same day, I was like, "What is this coronavirus? A new beer?" Right? Like that was my meme, motherfucker. Yeah, and everybody had masks at Evo Japan. Like, even though we're like, but most of us, I'm glad that we were wearing, in Japan, they usually wear masks anyway. Right. But the announcement made us all precautious because everybody was talking about it. Like, everybody, dude. Okay, so you got to go to Evo Japan. Now, I remember you telling me you loved it so much over there. You enjoyed it, and you would love to move over there. I mean, if this one guy was in chat, I would say you could ask him a couple questions. He's in my Discord actually. He actually lives in Japan.
Oh,
yeah. And like, why would you want to move to Japan? Like, what is the differences between the United States and Japan? Like what draws you there so much?
For sure, the three biggest draw points for me has to be the safety, the culture, and my religion. Those are the biggest three reasons I want to go there. Like, the way people are there are far more well behaved here than Americans. No, and there's a lot of great Americans. Like, I will say, like, this country's not the worst country in the world. I've met some genuinely great people. I love the people who I've been around with. Seriously, like, you know, white, Mexican, black, like, truly, like, that's something I'm gonna miss about the United States. Like, like when someone's nice here, it's genuine. It's not because there is no culture almost that forces them that they genuinely care. In Japan, though, like, even if they're jackasses, like they leave you alone. Like, over here, you get harassed. Like, being in the U.S., it just doesn't feel safe. Like, that's just a genuine concern of mine. Is the safety here is, I don't feel safe. You know, like, it's a genuine thing, and I think it's something that should not be, like, you know, as you can tell by my tone, like, it's important. Like, it's something that's not funny. I feel the news is whack with it. You know, like, there are people dying in Chicago, dude. The kids. But they don't care because it's some other neighborhood that has nothing to do with them, and that's genuinely upsetting. I don't like that. That bothers me. You know, it deeply hurts me as a human being. And in Japan, I just feel a lot safer, and knowing that people don't die needlessly as much. Granted, it's still happening. I'll still care. You know, it's not. You know, it bothers me less when I'm not around it. You know, it's harder to ignore the stuff when you're around it. So that's one thing, is the safety and the ignorance of people here.
Yeah,
and then
there's
two, like I said,
way too many stupid people out here. Like, way too many stupid people doing stupid stuff for no reason. Like, check this out. I went to Jewel to go get just groceries, right? Like, oh, you need to wear a mask. And I was like, why? Oh, because this is the government mandate. All right, fine. Where can I buy a mask so I don't have to go somewhere else? Yeah, you can buy a bandana. Okay. I waited in line for like 15, 20 minutes, right? And it was just two people there. One there in line with the two people, and then a person behind them. Well, the guy behind walked away, and then 5 minutes later, I walk up. I go get my bandana. This guy comes out of nowhere and comes like right behind me, and he looked disgusting, like dirty. And I'm like, 6 feet, please. And you know me, I don't care. I'm like, whatever. Like, I have no control over this. Like, if I'm gonna get it. I'm like, 6 feet, please. So I'm just going right here. I'm like, sir, 6 feet, please. Then he started pushing my cart. I'm like, come on, man, what the fuck? And he looked at me, who you cursing at, boy? I looked and I went, you, sir. Then the people behind the counter were like, oh, no cursing. I'm like, how about the 6 feet rule? Sir, move 6 feet out. Like that's what we have to deal with almost every day if we go outside in America. Like, it's like, it's ridiculous, the self privileged feeling. So I can totally agree with you that if you actually feel safer in Japan than here, it totally makes sense, because why do you want to feel like you have to be on the defense 24/7?
Right, exactly. No, you're right, and that's like like I said too. It's a cultural thing. Like, over there, they already had masks. They understand the importance of 6 feet. To them, this is nothing new. And minding your own business and being like, this is actual common sense over there. Common sense is starting to become a rarity over here in the U.S.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Well, so, one of my main mottos is common sense ain't too common.
That's true over here.
Like, I mean, you look at someone, you're like, why are you driving past me like that? You're going to a red light. Like, no reason. Why are you literally on my ass where if I press the e-brake, you're not going to see me slowing down because there's no lights with an e-brake.
Right.
Like, yeah, believe me, I do have to agree with you. I've always wanted to go to Japan, personally, so I'm kind of jealous of you going there.
Hey, man, you'll go one day.
So, if you do move there, when's the date?
I want to try to do it at least within 2 to 4 years. That's reasonably, because I want to be able to move with what I like. I want to be able to move knowing that I can, like, say my Twitch and everything, like, because I can take this with me. This is income that comes with me. Yes. I can have this down, and hopefully I have another way, because I do plan on doing other things like investing and whatnot. And once I have that down and I don't have as much risk, because I'm a person who likes to be very prepared. Like, basically, I'll have 3 sources of income when I get there. Like, the 2 that come with me, and then a third one, because I do want to start, like, a business when I go to Japan, hopefully.
Okay. All right. What kind of business?
Actually, I was thinking making a restaurant over there, because I do realize, like, there's not a lot of Mexican cuisine over there. And believe it or not, Japanese people have quite the taste buds. They are very diverse over there, and they don't really have something like that, and especially something that's authentic. Like, and here's the thing, this is all true. Like, you
this
can get
one thing I'm gonna say about you. I never expected to hear I want to open up a Mexican cuisine restaurant in Japan. I never thought that. I could see, like, okay, let's open up, like, a training center for this, or help, like, kids out in this. Not a fucking Mexican cuisine place. What?
I would do that as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm a jack of all trades. I would continue, but it's because my main focus is, like, what's something that's money, and then everything is secondary. Because I would also make it, like, not a bar, but on the side I would have it be like a gaming venue. So people want to eat or something. There's those restaurants right next door. But I know a lot of Japanese people would definitely be intrigued at the idea of, like, and I would make it Mexican as hell too, like the tiles and the drawings. Like that's just something, Japanese people, like, this is something I've seen a lot. Like, they just love foreign stuff. Like, oh, it's new and it's intriguing, and it is to anybody. It just is. Like, Japanese people go to Europe and see these buildings and like, oh, it's great, and then the people who live there are like, oh, it's just our house. It's because you become accustomed to it. Same. I go there, I'm like, oh, this shit's great because it's new to me.
Yeah.
And even then, I noticed why I thought it was a good idea, because I was watching a documentary on how Japan could use more foreigners, but I'm thinking, and how the U.S. is so good because of foreigners, and part of it's because, like, even the hot dog came from, I think, Polish people. Like, think about what you think is normal in your country, bring it to another country, and you will excel, because it's not normal there. That humans are curious creatures. Pique the curiosity, and that's money. That's why,
like, having information, that's a form of information, because you're delivering something that someone else has not seen. And that's what everyone wants, is information.
And I do have an ace in the hole. My mom makes really good tamales. For those of you who don't know, tamales are extremely hard to make, and 90% of the time they taste trash, like garbage.
Blood Vixen cooked those before she knows.
Right. But my mom...
Can you cook those again someday?
But my mom...
Like, hell no.
Right, but my mom makes good tortillas, and she has a secret recipes that makes them extremely good. Like, that's why she sells all out. She always sells out when she makes them. That's why she doesn't make anymore, because it's too much work, and she's just like, I make good money where I work. I'm still learning how to make them properly, and I will take that recipe with me when I go to Japan. So not only that will I have, like, a restaurant, I will actually have a go-to item that people will go to.
Yeah.
Remember, it's hard to make, and I have the recipe for it.
It takes, what, 6 hours to cook, really? Properly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And even then, people, like I said, people still mess this up. It's not even so much, like, they can do everything right, but they don't got the ingredients in the recipe right.
But that also depends on how they want it to taste. Like, the ingredients and stuff, that could just depend on how people want it. But True. You are absolutely correct. If it's not cooked properly, it's not going to be an authentic tamale. So, okay, that's really cool. So you want to... So, okay, we figured out your big dream in life throughout this conversation. You want to move to Japan. You want to, if your content creation is not paying out well enough, you want to make a restaurant over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's very fucking cool. Those are some very ambitious dreams. And I could see you accomplishing them. You just got to do it and stop doing that key thing you love doing that starts with an L. And it's being lazy. You always tell me I'm just lazy. Fuck that.
No, I am, but I mean, here's the thing, because I have ADHD.
Who is it, man? Shit. I know. But yeah, man.
But here's the good thing, though. I have ADHD, but luckily for me, like, I've seen a meme on Twitter. It's like, oh, for 8 days, do absolutely nothing. One day, decide to work for an hour, get a whole week's worth of work out of the way. I'm like, that is true. And
yeah.
That's how I am.
Yo, same here. I was diagnosed with that. Okay. Does the chat have any more questions before we sign off for the evening of this?
Dang, we didn't even have an hour.
Yeah, we did. We started at 40.
Oh, but dude, we didn't actually start till like 50.
Fine. With this time when chat is discussing questions and trying to figure out shit is usually the last 5-10 minutes, motherfucker. No, let me run my show, bitch.
No, all right. I'm making sure. I'm correcting your time. I'm not saying. But what's college if you attended? No, I didn't go to college. I did plan on attending college, though. But then when I seen I didn't need it, which I still don't, sort of, Like, yeah. So no college for me yet.
Yeah, all the information you would get at college, you can go on fucking YouTube for, read a book.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
And like, if you're gonna go to another country and just open up a business, you just can just study a little like business books and learn how to manage money. That's it.
Right. Well, to be like, take courses on that stuff. If I took courses because I need the paper for it, but as far as overall knowledge, the internet's quite a great source if you know where to look.
I got a question actually. If you were to go to college and you were forced to, what would your major be and minor?
I have no fucking idea, bro. School didn't do a good job of telling me what majors and minors were. I'm just telling you, man, the school system's pretty fucked. So, yeah. I'm just being honest. Like,
I agree with you on that. That's why I'm like, oh my god, like, I am right there. Like, I hated school. My motto in school was IHS. I wrote that everywhere. I hate school. Because,
there.
Oh, he's there now? He's traveling! He found what he was looking for. He found the sugar pop fries, and he's bringing it home.
He ain't finding shit. I gotta kill his ass later and kill his trail because ants leave scent trails, and I don't want more coming in here. But yeah, no. What you were saying? Sorry about that.
You're funny. I was like, "What's that?" You're like, "What?" You're like,
"Oh yeah." I mean, while people again come up with everything.
Cox, got a question.
To further go into the whole business detail, another reason I think I wanted to go to Japan, I feel like I could benefit. Like it's a mutual beneficial thing. Like I come in, I'm not uneducated. I will at least. I'll come in legally. I'm not, not none of that bootleg stuff. I'll come in as legally as humanly possible, do what I need to do. And I wanna bring, like, because I know the work culture is a bit weird there. I wouldn't bring that with me. I would bring a very positive, like, Mexican culture. And I think a lot of the youth would be attracted to that. Like, because here's the thing, Japanese are hard workers. It's just they don't like how some of their culture is. And I'm not like that. Like, one thing I know Japan has is, like, I'll get to that question. Here's an example, Harps. When you fuck up, right? Like the person who's in charge of you or your boss will tell you right to your face or something like, oh, it's no big deal or whatever. In Japan, for some weird reason, they make it way more convoluted and it actually interferes with work. It's not productive. They'll send you an email or like your coworker will tell your boss and your boss will send you an email like just tell someone straight up or like there's no need for any of that. And the way their work hours are also not very good. Microsoft Japan even proved that 4-day work weeks are more productive. And I'm always more towards what's smarter, productive, and better for the worker and the company. And me doing what I would do if I could be like, oh, my workers only work 4 days a week. They get paid a little bit above average, but they do work for their position. Like they don't just get this job for free. And this job, like again, making tamales ain't easy. The people who are there. They're gonna get their work. Like I'll know because when I taste that tamale, it'll taste either good or trash. They either do it right or they don't, and they either have the job or they don't. And once I know they can do the job, everything else from there should be easy smoothing. I'll tell them like, hey, you messed up this, but I'm not gonna be a dick about it. I'm not gonna make them work stupid hours. No, you're gonna have your time and you're gonna get paid well.
We already asked that question. The main thing he regrets, like worst thing, whatever he did. Yeah.
Oh wait, that's a different question. This is a game though. Actually, worst game you've ever played?
No, below it. And that answer, Blood.
Actually, I have to say it's a tie between the Medal of Honor. If you guys played that on PS3, like I enjoyed it a bit, but wow, that game hurt my head to play. And the Wii U zombie game.
I played that one.
No, there's another game that was also just terrible to play through, dude. Like it was.
Wasn't that a Call of Duty or was that Medal of Honor? Was that a Call of Duty?
No, the newest one when they tried rebooting it, but it was absolute garbage.
Oh, no then. No.
I mean, there's a couple other ones too, and I would say for sure the number one game that I didn't even finish it has to be Overwatch. Like that game killed my soul.
There's no finishing it, it's just multiplayer.
Yeah, I know, but like that's a dishonorable mention if we would.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's your game that you hate the most. Fair enough, because you always like Overwatch. Overwatch. All right, fair enough. All right. Before we conclude this, does anyone else have any other questions before the show's over and we move this on to a different party?
Hey, yeah. Anyone got any ideas what I should play? Because I'm contemplating between like the Evil Within and Bad Company 2, or Bad Company 1. I mean,
Bad Company. Bad Company.
Sometimes
I don't know.
Sometimes I just get nostalgic, bro, and I want to play an old game. I consider PS3 old. Who else agrees with me?
PS3 is old.
That's 10 years ago, man. 10 bloody years.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I love. Yeah, he would love your tamales, but you don't make them. So yeah, there's that one.
Dude, I'm picky, dude. I like my mom's cooking. That's another thing about me. Good thing she brings that up. I'm an extremely picky eater, especially when it comes to Mexican food. The only Mexican place I like is the place I work at, and even then, I only eat their steak and chicken tacos. I don't, or no, not their albanero, which is steak and pork, and their chicken. I do not like their steak tacos. You know, no harping on my restaurant.
It's
I just do not like the way
hard to cook proper steak tacos. Just proper steak in general. It's hard. You have to like know what you're doing for proper steak.
My mom knows, dude. She don't play with her shit.
She
Dude.
don't.
I'm grateful for my mom.
Ooh, I like that one. What do you think about VR games? And this will be the last question.
All right. I like them. I like VR games. I seen the potential for them a long time ago. I also like because I have a PS Move. To me, that's kind of like VR. But I will say VR isn't there yet as far as being because I know a lot of people get headaches and stuff. Like we're not there as far as for the frame yet. Because what matters for anything, I'll say, is accessibility and money. And I don't think VR is at that point yet. Like if I could just go, oh, here's $100 to throw out of VR, then we're at the point of accessibility. But more importantly, we just need that high frame rate. Like we really do, because some people are extremely sensitive. I would say if we can like pinnacle VR is we could reach 1,000 frames, because that's actually the point where your eye can no actually longer distinguish differences, regardless. I've seen a video about it, you know. With what the heck is AR technology? Real talk, you're gonna have to give me a minute on that one. What is AR technology?
AR.
I'm trying to think. I might know.
AR.
I feel like I should.
Can I follow up with that with AR technology?
Wait, really? I didn't know that, Valhalla. You're probably right. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Japan has huge conferences about that. You're absolutely right.
Dude, I didn't even see that one. Holy shit. What's up, Ruckus? What's up?
He's absolutely right. I mean, I agree, but here's the thing. If you know Japan, then you kind of understand why that's why in Japan's technology savage. They're the ones taking... And here's the thing. Those people are willing to spend that money on that, dude. When you're lonely, you go and spend that money. Like I said, that's a market. There's a demand. No one's here saying, oh, I want to play Resident Evil in VR. I mean, yeah, but like as a gimmick. Like I'm okay playing that controller. Some people like they'll play their H games with a controller, but let's be real, do they want to play with a controller? Nah, dog. So that's why.
Hey, what has cancer so much in the blood?
Yeah,
Where did you come up with some of the craziest things up in here?
But no, that's why that is. You know, when there is a reason behind that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got to learn a lot about you today, and yeah. I don't know. I think this concludes anything, unless there's some real quick questions.
All right. Yeah, because we got like 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, not even. I mean, it's been an hour.
Oh, then we're good.
Yeah, but I don't know. Who wants to learn for the waifu?
Yep.
Do you have one?
No.
Is it, do you have a guy?
Hell no.
Okay, no, we know your preference now. Got it. Social security number.
Get the hell out of here. You're funny, dude. You got him dying.
Yeah, you do. That was good.
That is a good one.
That's like, ooh, what is it? All right, without that further ado, we're gonna go raid this person.
All right.
And yeah, she's real close to get affiliate. I'm gonna drop the raid on her, and she's probably gonna be playing Call of Duty again. But thank you for coming out for this, and please check him out. And I will be posting this interview probably tomorrow on YouTube. Check it out. And if anyone wants to get interviewed, just hit me up in my Discord. This is the link. And just DM me in there or whatever. Do you bite your nails or trim them?
I trim them. I don't bite my nails at all. I don't get that, honestly. I mean, I think just chick thing more than anything, but I just don't do that.
I know, I do too, Ruckus. High five. There we go. All right. Peace out, everyone. Thank you, Greatest. See you on Sunday, right?
Yep. Thanks, everyone.
Peace out.